Hey, Bears fans, we got some rumors to dive into in just a moment, but I would love if we got to 80,000 subscribers before kickoff on Monday Night Football, Bears, Vikings tomorrow night. If we get there, that would be awesome. We're publishing videos every single day here on the channel, latest Bears news, rumors, looking ahead to the offseason with potential coaching change, roster movement. We cover it all here on this channel. We'll also have a game day preview tomorrow on the channel as well of Monday Night Football. So if you want more content, subscribe today. Let's get to 80,000 subscribers. I'm Harrison Graham. We kick things off with a familiar topic. Hire Jim Harbaugh. Yes, we are back once again. ESPN's Mike Greenberg basically went on Get Up recently and said the Bears should do everything they can to land Jim Harbaugh. Here's a quote that he had a few days after the Bears collapsed to the Lions. He said, "I would not have let my team leave the state of Michigan without Jim Harbaugh. I would have gone over to Ann Arbor, grabbed Harbaugh, and said, 'Get on the plane.' The Bears should absolutely beg Jim Harbaugh to come be their coach next year." And I got to be honest, I'm not the biggest Greeny fan. I actually agree in this case. Look, obviously he doesn't mean it as literally as he said it, but I would go all in on Jim Harbaugh, which is essentially what he's saying. Like, stop settling for this losing garbage and go make a move. Jim Harbaugh is a move. Like, that's, people like scouts say, have different terms for like guys that stand out when evaluating talent. Like, and a big common word is like, that guy's a dude. Jim Harbaugh is a dude. Say what you want about him. He's weird. He's funky. He rubs people the wrong way. He's got this cheating scandal going on. I get that. It's not a great look. We don't know completely how involved he was. He probably knew something about it, so that's not great. But the guy's won everywhere he's been at whatever level, including the NFL, by the way. He was very good with the San Francisco 49ers. Like, at some point, you're the Chicago Bears. Act like it. You're an original franchise in a major market. You're trying to build a new stadium. You're trying to do all these big things, but you have Matt freaking Eberflus as your head coach. Like, that's not thinking big. That's not big enough. Like, Matt Eberflus is a coordinator in this league. He is not a head coach. The resume speaks for itself. We've gone ad nauseum about his losing record, his division record, chance to fall to 0-10 tomorrow night. Never has won back-to-back games. Hasn't beaten a team above 500. He had a 14-game losing streak. Like, he is not the answer. So I am looking at you, Kevin Warren. If you're watching this video, I'm looking at you. You don't strike me as someone who thinks small. You came in, did your introductory press conference, said, we're going to build the nicest stadium out there. Why not us? Why are we not going to win championships here? Well, then go out and do it, right? We're beyond what the stadium project is at this point. Like, go make a move. It is time to swing big for once. The Bears just outthink themselves. Let's go hire a CFL head coach. Why? Go get a proven winner at this level who's probably going to be available this offseason. His name is Jim Harbaugh. He's just a few hours north of you. Oh, and by the way, he played quarterback for this franchise a few decades ago. It makes way too much sense. Go get him. Force him to say no. And then, okay, move on to plan B. But Matt Eberflus cannot be the answer for this franchise any longer. If you are on the Jim Harbaugh train, type me in the comments. I'm all in on Harbaugh. People may not like it. May not like the cheating stuff. I don't like the cheating stuff. But you know what? Unless a ton of new information comes out, I'm willing to live with what that Michigan football program did to get Jim Harbaugh in Chicago. I just am. So type me if you're with me and you want Harbaugh in Chicago. And while you're at it, go ahead and get Marvin Harrison Jr. as well. He likely finished his college career in a losing effort versus Michigan. Now, he hasn't officially made an announcement. There's an outside chance Ohio State could sneak into the playoff like they did last year after losing to Michigan, but it's less likely this year based on the amount of teams that would have to lose. We don't know if he'll play the bowl game. I would guess probably not, but we'll see. Went out in style if he did go out. 5 catches, 118 yards, and a touchdown, average of almost 24 yards a catch. I mean, it's kind of a joke they didn't target him more. Kyle McCord is probably the worst Ohio State quarterback I can remember in quite a long time. I need this dude on the Bears. Like, again, dude, this guy's a dude. Like, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a dude. He's the best player in this draft. I've said it over and over and over again. We can talk about the quarterbacks. We can talk about different players. Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best player in this draft, period, end of story. Now, Harrison, aren't you going to have to draft a quarterback? Yeah, you might. But there are avenues where you draft a quarterback and still get Marvin Harrison Jr. I want this guy in Chicago. He is a game changer. I think he could be a franchise changer as well. We'll talk a little bit more about him in just a moment, but do want to shout out our sponsor, Rocket Money, on today's show. The holidays are here, which means you're probably spending a little more money right now on Christmas presents. I did a lot of Thanksgiving cooking, so I had to buy some food and whatnot, get that all prepared. So, a little more dent in the wallet as of late. But to help balance that out, Rocket Money is helping me out. They're helping me stay on track with my budget because they are the best personal finance app that is out there. And what they do better than anyone else is really outline for you how much you're spending per month on subscriptions. And if you want to cancel any of those subscriptions, cancel button next to any of them, and they will handle the rest for you. You've probably signed up for subscriptions you didn't even realize you were still signed up for. Maybe you did a free trial. Now you're getting charged monthly. Maybe you signed up for a streaming service to watch a show your friend recommended, finished the show, and forgot to cancel the service. Rocket Money is going to cancel any subscriptions for you that you no longer want. They're going to keep you on track with your budgets. You can even lower some of your bills by up to 20% with Rocket Money. Join the 5 million customers and counting with Rocket Money, which, by the way, has helped save people an average of over $700 per year and a total of over $1 billion with Rocket Money. And get started today. RocketMoney.com/Bears now. That link is in the comments and the description of this video. Download the app today. Support us. Support our sponsors. You're going to support your pockets. RocketMoney.com/Bears now. What Marvin Harrison Jr. has done at Ohio State has just been terrific. 14 touchdowns in each of the last 2 years. I think what's so impressive this year is despite more attention, despite a worse quarterback he's playing with, going from C.J. Stroud to Kyle McCord, he was even more explosive this year. I think that's a testament to how dynamic he is after the catch and just how much he even grew as a player. I think last year he would have easily been the top receiver in the draft. That carried over to this year in a much tougher wide receiver draft coming up with guys like Malik Neighbors, Keon Coleman, Romeo Odunze, and several others. But he's special, man. He's special. And just I get visions of him and DJ Moore playing together, and it excites me, man. It excites me. And DJ Moore is a very, very, very good player. I think MHJ could unseat him as the top receiver by year 2. And could you imagine if DJ Moore is your number 2 receiver? Like, you're cooking with gas. Even if Marvin Harrison just stays as your number 2, that's fine as well. Like, you get this guy in here, regardless of who the quarterback is, your offense is going to be incredibly dynamic, especially throwing the football. And as you look at the updated tank standings, shout out to Carolina for losing once again. They fell to 1-10. Patriots lost to the Giants. It kind of could have gone either way there. If the Patriots won, which I was kind of leaning toward rooting for, they would have 3 wins. But the Giants would still have 3 wins. They now have 4 wins, so they're not really in the conversation anymore. Cardinals are playing right now. Bears play on Monday night, obviously, with their own pick. Commanders at 4 wins. You're kind of down to 4 teams with 3 wins or less. So Bears are in a very, very good spot to get a top 3 pick at worst with that Carolina pick, looking like number 1 pick more and more likely. And then their own pick, I think tomorrow night will be a shift. If you lose to Minnesota, the tank could be on again. If you win, you're 4-8 going into the bye. Maybe you have a little momentum coming out of it for a final push, but we'll have to wait and see. But the biggest wild card of all this with Marvin Harrison Jr. is obviously the quarterback decision. We know that's coming. Like, they got to make a decision in a couple of months on Justin Fields. But even if they move on from Fields, there's a very real scenario where you have 2 top 5 picks. Let's say, just hypothetical, Bears get the number 1 and the number 5 pick. Trade down from 1 to 2 or 3, take Marvin Harrison Jr., or take a quarterback number 1 overall, trade up from 5. You have an extra second-round pick next year. If you trade Justin Fields, you would have some capital in that scenario, and then take Marvin Harrison. So even if you do move on from Fields, there are paths to get a quarterback and Marvin Harrison in this draft. It is absolutely possible. We saw the Texans do it last year when they got C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson back-to-back. They traded back up. So if you want this dude bad enough, even if you decide to move on from Justin Fields, it can be done. It's just up to Ryan Poles if he wants Marvin Harrison that bad or not. Now, if you want MHJ on the Bears, you know what to do. Spam MHJ. He's who I want, man. I've never felt more convicted in a player I want on my team heading into a draft. Like, there's just no weaknesses to his game. He's just a special player. I think he can be an elite player for 12, 15 years in the league. So spam MHJ down below if you're all in on Marvin Harrison Jr. All right, quick thoughts on the game tomorrow night. Look at the injury report. These 4 players have all been ruled out. Larry Borom on the offensive line, D'Onta Foreman is out as well. Noah Sewell, Tyrique Stevenson. Tyrique's the big one. He's coming off the best game of his rookie season, so I would expect Terrell Smith to start opposite of Jalen Johnson. Obviously, D'Onta Foreman's been running well. Luckily, Khalil Herbert's back, so it'll probably be him and Roschon Johnson tomorrow night. For the Vikings, Justin Jefferson's still questionable, as is a Caleb Evans and former Bear, Khyiris Tonga. So we'll see if Jetta goes. That's the big one there. But there's been some chatter. They might hold him out another week because they have the bye next week. But we'll see. It would be quite the break if you dodged him again. Didn't have to face him earlier in the year in week 6. But look, this kind of feels like a last-ditch effort on this season type of game. Obviously, I'm not even going to sit here and run into some kind of hypothetical of making the playoffs. But what I will say is if you win, get to 4 wins, 2 games back of the 7th seed. Seattle at the 6th seed only has 6 wins as well. They've been struggling. So not impossible, but let's be honest, it's the ultimate long shot. And until Matt Eberflus can prove he can win 2 games in a row, I'm not going to get my hopes up. But I do think there's a chance for the Bears to compete in this game. Be sure to join us tomorrow night on Monday Night Football live at 6 o'clock Central. Myself, Rolly, we're going to be ready to go. Full pregame show. Then we'll have live coverage of this one on Monday Night Football as the Bears take on the Vikings in Minnesota. And you do wonder if they do lose to the Vikings, could that be Flus's last game? Bye week coming up. Certainly something to think about. All right, guys, my name is Harrison Graham. We're going to sign off here, and we will see you guys tomorrow for a game day preview, and then tomorrow night for Monday Night Football.